Stangibelisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV, Whiskey 1 Good Vibrations. A viewer recently asked a couple of questions of me. One of them was, what was your most memorable CW QSO? Well, I would have to say that the very first contact I made in March of 1966 as WN0OKV, Ocean Kilo Victor, with a station in Zeeland, Michigan on 40 meters, was the most memorable. After that, there were a series of contacts that I made with a station in New Zealand practicing our high-speed CW. Well, I should say I was practicing mine. George certainly didn't need to practice his. I, in fact, got into the car, which at that time was not mine, it was my dad's, but he let me put a radio in there, and I talked to him from Highway 14, west of Rochester, Minnesota, on CW, while driving. I guess that was okay back then. I don't know about today. But anyway, he had given me a 559 from my home station and a 579 from the vehicle. Go figure. Phenomena. Well, those were the most memorable CW contacts. The other question that viewer posed had to do with what makes CW useful, or what makes it most useful. What feature of it makes it most useful? Well, these days, I don't know if we need to be quite so concerned about how useful things are. We need to spend more leisure time and consider the usefulness of something, the extent to which we enjoy it. And CW is just plain fun for me, and that's why I find it most useful. But there is another fundamental theoretical reason. If for some reason we were deprived of everything but scroungeable parts, that we could make a little crystal-controlled transmitter and key it on and off, maybe even by touching two wires together, throw a long wire antenna up into a tree or a random wire, and someone else managed to make a direct conversion receiver of sorts at the same frequency, and if it were, if they happened to be in the same ionospheric ballpark, they could make contact when nobody else in the whole world over that distance could do such a thing. I'm talking about after the asteroid, and not a likely scenario, but CW works when everything else fails. And that remains true even for some of the synchronous modes, I believe, because everything else includes the equipment necessary to encode and decode those synchronous modes. CW will work when every other mode fails. Moreover, ham radio will work when every other mode of communication fails. And that is ham radio's greatest asset, in my opinion. So I hope that answers your question, my friend, and anybody want to pose any more questions about ham radio topics, I'd be glad to look at them, try to make videos about them. Stangibelisco W1GV saying 73, and so long for now.